Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
I'm Jess.
And it is exciting stuff today. So you saw in the last video, we got the floor down in our store, which was great. Like it really got us starting to feel close to completion. Well, we have some pretty awesome updates in the store that we want to show you all. And hopefully if the rain holds off, I want to take you into the greenhouse and show you some stuff. You haven't been there in a while. It has been. We've done a lot of stuff in there, so we want to check some things out. But most importantly, it's the store. And I can't wait to show you. Kind of forgot to mention, you did just get to see my famous biscuits. I did show you kind of the steps and the ingredients that you needed in it, but that's in her cookbook. I had a couple of my own recipes that I was able to put in there. That's always linked down below if you're ever interested. Cookbook's good stuff. Jen just hung up her pretty lights.
Aren't they pretty?
They're very pretty. So that is not the full ceiling. Y'all had some great ideas on what to put in that ceiling. We're still waiting on what she truly wants to come in, but the lights are part of that.
Yeah.
So they're very pretty. They're kind of tent style, how they're draped around, and they look really good.
Yeah. I'll
So,
sleep in here.
no, it's a very relaxing area. Okay. That's not the big thing that we wanted to show you all. We've done two more things into the store that we want to show you, and then we are still going to be bringing something else in here too. All right, we'll start with the simple one. So y'all remember there was insulation up here. Well, there is insulation up there that we had to figure out something to cover it up with. So we used some of the old fence boards that are nice and weathered to make an accent wall. So that covered that up really pretty and looks really good.
My idea.
It was Jen's idea. Very good job. It worked out well. All right, and then the big thing. Jen's got her counter.
Nice.
So we built this all out of the same fence board, so it kind of ties everything in together, including with the floor. But it turned out beautiful.
Yeah, it's very sturdy. It's up high, so I don't have to break my back, and it's really cool. So it's closed on that side, but on this side, it's completely open, so I can store stuff. I can also put Ellie's little bed in there for her to hang out with me while she's in here. Or a kid can make a bed in there, either one or both. But it's awesome, I love it. So I'm probably gonna get a stool, and then I'll have our little square computer thing that I'll use as a cash register. And we'll fill this up with other stuff, but I love it. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, let us know what y'all think down here. The one thing obviously will be, it's not easy to clean this. But there really shouldn't be a whole lot of cleaning that's necessarily needed for this. But we'll check it out. We might have to put some poly on here to kind of like clear coat it. That would help us like wipe it off if we needed to.
And if we were to ever eat at it, I could throw a tablecloth on. It's like no big deal.
Yeah, and it's not screwed to any walls. I mean, this thing is not moving. So it can be moved around a little bit. But we thought this was good. I'm also going to build a flip here for her. That's to come. It's just for now we have this, and I think it turned out absolutely gorgeous. It's like what people pay big money for, to have like an accent wall.
It was free.
Yeah, completely free, because these are the same fence boards that my buddy Jody gave us that we built the raised beds in with. We checked them, made sure they were bug free and everything. No termite inspection or anything like that. So all looks good, and this would probably be a counter that somebody would pay thousands of dollars for.
Because it's so big.
Yeah, in their little boutique or whatever it is, to have this kind of look, and we got it free, but I'm excited about it. And a few things are starting to come in that we've ordered, kind of like this little guy so she can hang. We've got some like homemade keychains and stuff that'll be there. And then we also got this rack to be able to hang stuff on. The big thing that we're still trying to figure out is exactly the shelving situation that we're going to be doing. The first thought was just running shelving like in our pantry, all on this back side. But Jen's had some other ideas.
Well, it would be way too expensive. We'd be looking at thousands of dollars in shelving. So we're just kind of playing around with some ideas, but one of those ideas is the wire racks that we use for seed starting and putting our canning jars on, because those are relatively cheap and you can get really big ones and then just line them along this wall. So that's an option. Some other like homemade built stuff is an option, but we're still kind of figuring it out.
Yeah. So you all had some great suggestions on the ceiling. Now this is price wise, so think price effective. This is just a store. We want people to take stuff off it and buy it. They're not buying the shelves, so it doesn't necessarily have to be pretty. What's some efficient ways that you all are thinking that maybe we could do all of her homemade goods up in here.
And then we have 2 more things that we're gonna be bringing in right now, and those are gonna go on each side of the door. Guess down below if you know what that is. You could probably guess, especially if you've been following us. We're gonna go get those and put them in.
She said 2. We're gonna be lucky to get one of them that wasn't there, but we'll see.
Okay, you ready?
There she is.
So you might remember we bought this when we moved here, and we had it in what is now the pantry. It was a dining room at one point, and I bought this to go with a cute little Amish table with it. And it was beautiful in there, but it needed to be redone. So I don't know, like 6 or 8 months ago, we took it out to the garage, redid the whole thing, and then we let it sit because we knew that we were going to put it in the store eventually. It's finally time.
It's finally.
How in the world did we know that all those colors were going to go with the store? I have no idea because it was not planned, but it's perfect.
Yeah,
I love it.
I absolutely love this thing. It's going to look good in here. So this is going to be, you can sell all kinds of stuff on it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, at least my own humble opinion, anything that's in the store is going to have a price tag on it.
Yeah.
So because we know an antique place that has a bunch of
I don't know.
these.
I don't think I can get rid of this guy.
Oh.
He's very special.
For the right price, anything will go. All right, so yeah, that's one. That's the older of the 2 that we have. Like she said, we redid it. We wanted it to still look old, but we sanded it down and kind of gave it a rough paint job. So there's that one, still plenty of room to get around the counter. And then we're gonna put the second one on this side of the door. So when you walk in, oh, that's a good shot right there.
Mm-hmm.
When you walk in, you'll be able to see their counter, stuff over here. Walk over here and have another hutch over here to sell stuff out of. After we shot that last clip, we actually started hanging out with our Airbnb guests that were here at the moment. So it is the next morning. We did some more stuff in the store, but like I said earlier in this video, I want to show you all the greenhouse for a second. And we have some bad storms rolling in. So I wanted to get this shot before the rain hit, and then we'll finalize with showing you the last stuff we did in the store. It's really starting to look good. All right, so starting at the very beginning are all of our tomatoes. So we have tomatoes from here that go all the way to here. It's over 100 tomatoes. We are actually not planning on selling many of them this year. However, most of them will go into our gardens. So we have up potted everything. When you up pot a tomato, the thing to remember that's different here than say a pepper is tomatoes grow roots all the way up their stems. So if you get real close, you can see all that little white fuzz. Those can be roots. So when you up pot a tomato, you want to take it all the way to, these are their baby leaves that will fall off. You want to take it all the way up to about right there. A lot of people tell you take it to their true leaves, which would be these guys. And that is more true when you're planting out in the ground. But when you're up potting, we go all the way up to the baby leaves. So just in that amount of time, we've already grown this much. What that does is help you build a much better stock for your tomato plant. And it's going to have such a good root bound when you take it to the ground. It's just a better way to make sure you have a good, strong tomato. So we have a lot in here. Honest Nowhere. These sort rollies, I think is how you say it. That's a new one we're trying this year. It's kind of a black and yellow tomato. One of our all-time favorites, pineapple tomato, is a good one. We have some Granny Cantrells. We literally grow these because Jen's mom and stepdad, it's Granny Cantrell. We always have some persimmons in here. This is a new cherry we're trying, a black strawberry tomato. These are our canning babies, Bonnie's Best. We absolutely love Bonnie Best tomatoes. They are amazing, perfect canning tomatoes. Pink Oxheart is one of our favorite slicers. Now the Pink Oxheart, if you're growing those, they're late bloomers. So everything else is gonna start getting tomatoes and fruit that's on there. These guys will be last. So don't worry about them if you're growing them, and they are worth the wait. So you have some Prairie Fires, Red Snappers, which are also great, great canning tomatoes that you can have. We have a couple Better Boys from Haas, Abe Lincolns, Mortgage Lifters, Rosella in the back there, which are our favorite cherries. We have some Your Majesty tomatoes, Kellogg's Breakfast, and Southern Ripe. Oh, hang on. I was like, that's it. There's a few more over here. We're trying another new one over here. It's a Korean long. At least it looks similar to an Amish paste, maybe between an Amish paste and a cherry tomato. Terracottas, Dr. Witchies, Black Crown, and some more pineapples because we like those so much. Here is all of our peppers that we've up potted. They're slow growers. So we up potted these probably 2 weeks before we up potted the tomatoes, and you can tell the tomatoes are already bypassing them. It's gonna happen, don't worry about it. That's why you start them so early. Just give them plenty of time. Once it gets nice and hot, you'll start seeing these bad boys take off. But we have a lot of stuff in here. We're not an overly hot pepper kind of people. So the hottest thing we have, I think, is a Sugar Rush. And then we go down to jalapeno, and then everything else is primarily sweet. I did finally get jigsaw peppers to germinate, every single one of them. That has been a task for me. I've never been able to get those daggone things to germinate. And this year, everyone did. So that's great. Over here, we got a lot of Jen's herbs, nasturtiums, chamomile, basil, some double-headed echinacea. Our loofah gourds are starting to really do good. All kinds of marigolds that we'll plant all throughout the garden. Calendula, a roselle hibiscus. These things are beautiful if you're not growing them, and they have great herbal remedies or herbal properties. This is one of Raylan's strawberries. Here's Jen's rosemary, I believe. Yeah, rosemary. More calendula, another roselle, lavender, and then some more herbs. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but one of our awesome Stivers Tribe members sent us some Jerusalem artichokes. And look at here, y'all. They're starting to come up. So we got those when this greenhouse was over on the other side. So it weathered the storms and everything. And now she's coming back up. Underneath here, we also have a lot of stuff that the kids have planted. It's just a bunch of random things. We let them do whatever they want. Like, that's a pea, I know that for sure. I think that kind of looks like a beet. Over here we got some kind of green bean, but this is for their garden. They're doing it and having great control. So that's in the greenhouse. We still have a few more things that we need to start, but not much. The thing about like green beans and cucumbers and any of your squash, they sprout extremely fast, and honestly, you could basically just direct sow them. We just like giving them a little start because that's how we like to plant. We can do a little bit better spacing, and we know if something germinates or doesn't germinate, we'll have the right row spacing. So all that stuff is still to come. However, it's not 100% necessary to start them. They can definitely be direct sowed. It's one of those calm before the storm mornings. It was a beautiful foggy day today, or this morning. It's just really pretty and calm, but the bottom's about to drop out later. The last you all saw earlier in this video was us getting the hutch in. We told you about the countertop and the lights. I just turned them on and they're twinkling. It's kind of pretty when they twinkle, but that's not what we're gonna have in there. So we did a couple more things. We got our first like little shelf thing to hold stuff. So we're getting really creative. We asked you all to put down in the comments on what you think that we should put across this back wall to hold our supplies. Well, Jen found these at Walmart. They were 20 bucks each. It's what, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 technically if you count the top. Man, I gotta turn them lights out. They're gonna give me a seizure. There, stay. So they were 20 bucks each at Walmart, so only 60 bucks, and we got all of these. And she's like, well, let's put them together and just screw them together and make it kind of a cool color look. So you got the black and white look going on here, and it really worked out well. So we got 3, 6, 9, 12 shells for 60 bucks. Pretty neat idea. And so we'll have this, we'll have something different here, and then something else different here, because she didn't want it to be like the same the whole way around. I think she said the word was eclectic. That might be wrong. But we also did one more thing. we added a TV. So now we've got a TV in the back of the store. I guess one for boredom. If no one's in the store and we have somebody working it, they'll have something to watch. But ultimately, so we can have a little music playing in the background, or maybe our YouTube channel playing in the background. I don't know. But anyways, we just thought that's kind of fit in. Funny enough though, I got the TV mount, and it can't, like if you put it in the middle, it sticks really far out. So it has to go to one side or the other. So I know for any of my OCD friends, that's kind of driving me crazy because it's off centered, but we have to choose either this side or this side, or it sticks way too far this way. But it works, it's pretty cool. So you might be thinking throughout this video, what happened to the other stuff that y'all were gonna do before you started moving things in? Isn't that gonna be difficult? So like the baseboards, different kind of trim, stuff like that. Jan and I were talking and she made a suggestion. She's like, listen, it's just a store. It's very pretty as it is. Obviously trim would enhance anything that may be out there and make it look a little bit different, but that's just another cost to add into a store that's supposed to be making us money. So let's just start putting the stuff in and we'll decorate it to where that's a little bit covered up and won't be an eye attention. And I agreed with her. I do think that was a good idea. That saves us a lot of time and money because even though it seems small, trim and baseboards and stuff like that are pretty expensive. So this is looking really good. We are officially moving things in. I still gotta get my little plates on the outlets, which isn't a big deal. I just gotta go get them and put them in there. But just seeing it start to come to life is really, really cool. We got a cash register on order, so that'll be here soon. And it's really just exciting. It's exciting stuff because when you build a store, you don't want to go in too far debt. That way you don't have too big of a hole to pull yourself out of profit-wise. And I think we've done really well so far. It won't take too bad as long as the store does decent. So you can get out of here. Of course, we also do have Etsy, so it's going to be kind of a balance of in-store and Etsy, kind of selling the same stuff. But in-store, we're able to sell a lot more than what we would through being able to do on Etsy, because Jen is a micro-based processor, a home-based processor, all those different certificates that you need to be able to have a working farm stand and be able to sell your canned goods. So that's really awesome. So thank you all. Thank you all for coming along on this journey with us. It's exciting. I can't wait till they're open and then we start seeing some of you all in the store. I know a lot of people have expressed their, semi-local and can't wait to swing by, or people that are planning to make a trip just to come by this store. That's the stuff that blesses our heart and while we're building this, because we love seeing you all. It's not just about making money. Obviously it's a store, you buy stuff, but it's more about that community and actually getting to shake some of y'all's hands, hug some of you all, and really getting to know everybody, because this is the legacy that we're wanting to build, that we want to hand off to our kids to have a working, profitable farm. And so this is just one of those steps to keep going in that same direction. Because our philosophy is you're not gonna make your money off just having a huge head of cattle. You're gonna make your money off having a bunch of little, small, profitable areas that bulk in to a lot, right? So this store is just one of those. I hope y'all enjoyed today. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure to down below. We love y'all. Till the next one.